So stick around till the end of the video because I promise you that you will want to see what I'm talking about. What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video here on Pure Panorama. It has been a minute since I have had the camera in my hand and made a video. That is because I'm going to give you a quick rundown. It's been so long because I sent my camera out to have some warranty work done because it had dust in the lens and it had fallen into a hole that was filled with concrete. Long story short, one of the guys bumped into it and it fell, tipped over on the tripod, fell right into a hole that we had just filled with concrete, and it was just a wreck. So after the holidays, I figured it was time to send in the camera so that I had a brand new, almost brand new, cleaned up camera that was in better condition and would just retain that good image quality. After 3 weeks of the camera being out at the warranty shop, I got contacted from the shop telling me that they could not repair the camera and what they were going to do was just replace the camera with a brand new one. So we got a brand new camera and I went from the Canon G5X to the G7X Mark II. We got some protective gear for it to hopefully keep this one in better shape. I do want to pick up a couple GoPros for different shots and angles of the truck. But as for today's video, what we are going to get into are we're going to take a look at my fog lights that I have mounted down here on the front of the truck. I had some cheap just LED light pods that I had mounted on the front of the truck back around Thanksgiving time, and go figure, a couple months later they are both completely out. So that's what you get for having cheap LED pods, and the company that made these pods was Nightlight or whatever, I think, something like that. And they were off Amazon, and I basically had just got them to use for auxiliary reverse lights last year on my old F250 that I had, and I ended up not using them. So they were just laying around in the garage, and I figured that I'd throw them on this truck just to help brighten up these back roads so that when I was driving home from work at night, I didn't run into deer, kill any more deer, because as you know, I already hit one deer and I need to get new headlight housings for my Cummins here. So we did mount them down there underneath the front bumper, and after getting wet and things like that, they obviously weren't sealed too well or that waterproofed, and they're both completely dead right now and they don't work. So we got some new ones in the mail last night. So what we got last night in the mail are a couple of 3-inch aux beam lights. Now these ones, as you can see right there in the front, do have projectors over each of the LEDs. So there's 4 LEDs in there and those projectors, so that should help to, I would hope, project the beam and the pattern and keep them more in line and not just, these are a spotlight, not a flood pattern. So I'm hoping that being a spot and having those projectors, it'll help to keep the beam nice and tight on the road and where I want it. And if you look at the construction of these, they are just super nice. Look at those heatsink fins. You can see that the actual body of the light is just this little sliver right here. So the LEDs are like along the back wall here, and then you got the projectors over them, and then the rest of that is just good solid heatsink material. So what I need to do is check my electrical connections that I do have in the truck here, and we got to see if I have any spade connectors that I can clip off the connectors off of these old lights and then just reconnect these ones here and be good to go. As you can see, these ones have like that chrome look to the front of them. They have 6 LEDs in them, but they're just junk, man. They didn't hold up or last that long at all. So I think these ones down under here are going to be better, and they don't have that bright chrome look. They have more of like a dark look, so they'll be a little bit more concealed and blend in, and I think just overall they're gonna look better. So while my camera was in the shop and I was waiting to hear that they couldn't repair it and then going and picking up the new camera, I ended up putting LED headlight bulbs in the truck. So now I have some nice bright white headlights on the truck. But if anyone is from a state where it snows, as you can imagine, or as you know, the bright light like that reflecting back off the snow when it's snowing heavily out makes it very hard to see, and it will actually blind you and make things tougher on you when you're driving down the road. So in that sense, I do miss the old halogen bulbs because those made it a lot easier to see in snowstorms, which is why I got these here amber covers to go over our new LED light pods that are going to be down there under the front bumper. So when it's snowing or we have questionable weather like that, we can go ahead and snap these on the front, and we'll still have good light that will be able to cut through that snow and not blind us. And if it comes down to it, we can just shut our headlights down, run with our marker lights on and our pods down below the truck, and still see and have people see us, and we'll still be safe on the road. Another thing, man, this door has gotten so bad this winter. Look at that rust on this door. It is really breaking my heart, and it's just the paint has just completely chipped off from the couple times ago that I had washed the truck. I got out to just give it a once over and looked at it, and this door has just really gotten soft from the salt and other crap. So once spring hits, we got to go to a body shop and get some quotes on getting that taken care of. We also got 2 new reverse lights that we are going to put in the truck. I did put in those new ones a couple months back. As you know, I do have a video up on my channel. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's something about being the brightest reverse lights ever. They were good for about a week. After having them in the truck for about a week, I noticed that I think it is the driver's side one is actually out. It blew, and for whatever reason, I have no idea, because I thought LEDs were supposed to last longer, but this one had an issue and it's not working. So we went ahead and ordered a couple new ones, and these ones are far more superior as far as the quality goes. And we have one more update that is actually inside the house. You'll see what I'm talking about. We'll go in there after we swap out these reverse lights and see what we can do with these light pods. So stick around to the end of the video, because I promise you that you will want to see what I'm talking about. Let me just say, it is the start to a few good things to come. So stick around. And now would be a good time to tell you that you should just probably think about subscribing to the channel if you're stopping in for the first time, because we're gonna have some things coming up with this truck to try and get a little bit more pep in its step and make it a good, fun, solid, reliable daily driving work truck. And hit that like button so that this video can hopefully get shared around to more people, and have them stop into the channel too to check out the content and join in and form a good community of truck enthusiasts. This is an easy job to do. There's 2 T25 Torx head screws on each side that hold the lights in. You're gonna pull those out, and then they literally just pull out, and then you unplug the bulb, plug the new one in, stick it back into the socket, make sure it's locked in place, pop your housing back in, put those screws back in, and you're done. So it's very simple. Let's do it. Here's a good side-by-side comparison of the nightlight and the aux beam pod. As you can see, 4 LEDs in the aux beam with projectors over them, 6 LEDs in the nightlight. I like the aux beams more, having the more of a cube look to it, a 3-inch cube, as opposed to these I guess more rectangular ones with the chrome face on them. And these ones being darker due to the projection, I think they'll blend in, they'll look nicer down underneath, and then we can always clip the amber covers over them for winter weather and snow so we're not blinded. But here we go, let's get them on. Real quick before we install them, look at the difference in size and shape compared to these. And these are just some cheap chintzy heat sinks back here, which I actually did crack one of them. Compared to the big beefy heat sinks on this aux beam one, these things are very rigid and solid. It was kind of a pain to get those little nuts down in there to put the bolts in for the bracket so that we can hang it and then adjust it and stuff. But once you get it down in there, I just used some needle nose pliers, as you saw in that little time lapse, and got the bolt threaded and started into it. And then there is a little groove in there that the bolt will hold itself in, and then you can go ahead and tighten them up and adjust them on the fly. So there you go, guys. We got the new pods in place. They're both installed. So when it gets dark here, we will take them for a little test drive and see how they do with the LED headlights. And I'm pretty excited to check them out. Looking at the garage door, it appears that we have them both fairly even and level. So there you have the beams from the new LED pods that are down below the truck, and with those projectors in the front of them, in front of the LEDs that they actually put inside the pods, these beams are far more concentrated and just projected very nicely, I gotta say. I like the overall color of these more. They're not as bright, they don't scatter and send the light kind of all over. The last ones I had on here, literally, I think were a little bit too much for people coming towards me. I think these ones will actually be a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, they're still bright, but they're not quite as bright. And I think I can get away a little bit more on the safe side with driving with these lights on, especially I think if I put those amber lenses on. I think they're going to be perfect for in the snow and helping to cut through that and see while we're driving. So let's see with the LED headlights on with them. Holy shnikes, dude. Those LED headlights are just outrageous, man. Oh my god. Yeah, those LED headlights are crazy. You turn them off and we got just this nice glow. But I think those will be perfect, man, for when it's snowing and stuff. I think we're in good shape. And I think just to spice it up a little bit, I think we're gonna add a little 20-inch LED bar, light bar down below in between the two pods. Because a 20-inch light bar, I think I measured it before, and I'm pretty sure a 20-inch light bar will fit in between those, so we can always flip that thing on if we do want to brighten things up just a wee bit more on the back roads. Why not? So there you have it. The surprise is out. We in fact do have an HX35W turbo for the truck right now, and I went and picked this up a little over a month ago. And the plan for this turbo is, as you can see, I've had it apart and looking at it, checking it over more in depth after I got it home. So obviously the wastegate is missing off of it right here, and it's kind of probably hard to see, but if we tip it up and you look down in there, you can just see how dark it is with oil residue and stuff. So the thing definitely has been used and is worn. It needs to have a rebuild very badly. And when I had the compressor housing off, I think I have a photograph of it. I'll have to look, and if I can find it, I will put it in here somewhere so you can see. But it's completely lined with old tacky oil and like just a film, a residue of just old tacky oil. So this thing needs desperately to be cleaned and rebuilt. But the main plan and goal, objective, whatever you have you for this turbo right here, is to send it off and have it machined out to do a bigger compressor wheel and bigger turbine in it, and then get it back, hopefully rebuilt. I am not opposed to actually having the machine work done and then getting the rebuild kit and the turbo sent back to me, and then doing a build series with the turbo and building it on video. I think that would be fun and good for the channel, and it would be probably something interesting that people would want to see. So if you might want to see something like that, leave a comment down below and let me know. But I think just for the sake of time and less stress on my end, I may just have it machined and rebuilt at the place that machines it, and I need to call TurboLab of America and talk to them and get a price quote on what they're going to charge me to machine this thing. But it definitely needs a good cleaning, sandblasting, whatever they do to clean it up, and then I want to have it all bored out. I'm not exactly 100% sure on the numbers or the size of the compressor wheel or turbine, what I want to go with yet. I want to kind of talk to them and let them know what my goals are, my plans and all that, and just get recommendations, and then we can settle on some numbers from there and look to get the work done. So I plan to be giving them a call within the next week or two just to start figuring everything out and figuring out a time that I can send this thing off and start getting the work done. and I don't know if they might have something that's already done, something they already have machined and built that they can send me, and I can ship this as a core back to them just to save time. But I'm in no rush right now either to get this installed on the truck. So I'm looking to have this on the truck sometime during spring, definitely before summer. And I still have a good month or two, 3 months at the most to get all that done. But I had to go jump on it when I had the option and the turbo was available, so I went and picked it up 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think it was, and we got it here at the house right now. So the next step is to figure everything else out and get the work done so that we can get it back and look to get it on the truck. But when I put it on the truck, I also want to get a new manifold to go with it and do it right, get a new wastegate for it, all that stuff. So this thing is going to be redone from all angles, all areas, and hopefully just give us that little extra boost in power. So that's the big secret for right now. It is out and we have the new turbo for the truck. This is what we're going to do. I hope you guys are pumped up. So drop a like on the video for the new turbo. Comment down below what sizes you think I should go with this thing. Comment down below if you're enjoying the content right now. If you're stopping in for the first time, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. There's plenty to come with this truck here in the coming months. You don't want to miss out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.